Guys, it is 5:30 in the morning. I have convinced myself, based on a bunch of tweets, that there's maybe something going to happen here in half an hour, and there are no viewers yet, so I can say whatever the hell I want. Oh, this is uh, so how are things? I should actually update these things. In do, do, do. PS5 showcase. Okay, so we got time until the show starts. I'm mainly just waiting for other people who said they were going to be here to join the call. So anyway, hi, it's me, some column age guy who inadvertently runs pretty much all of the FFWiki social media these days, because I don't think anyone uses the Facebook anymore. Uh, and we are going to be covering this because, well, it's more likely that of any third-party stream that that will have relevant coverage, it's going to be a Sony one, because the main series is a primarily Sony series. And also, there's been a lot of rumbling that something is going to happen. I have seen a lot of people utterly convinced that Final Fantasy 16 is going to happen today. Who knows if that's going to be true? But we had to check this anyway, and I was going to be awake to watch this anyway because I am a trash person. But it's not just 16. There are a few other things that I've seen brought up. The uh, the other thing, that I heard was that a few months ago, the PC version of 13 got updated, and there were changes to the file structure that implied they're sending assets to one of the companies they've outsourced remasters to. They weren't actually involved in the port of 13 to PC, so it's possible there's something going on there. We'll find out. In the meantime, I mean, I don't have a half hour's worth of content. I was hoping someone else would join already. Am I going to be able to expand this at some point? This is. Oh, there we go. That looks a lot better. I guess we can just enjoy the mood music for the next 20 minutes.
What's up?
Hey, Techno.
Okay, let me figure out how this works. I'm gonna try and get YouTube up on my smart TV and then watch it that way.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, I'm just gonna watch it from my laptop. It's no big deal.
Yeah. The stream like the pre-show like thing has already started, so it should work. I mean, it's basically just PlayStation logos and mood music at this point, but at least that should be enough to figure out if your setup works.
Right, okay, makes sense. In the meantime, while that's setting up, so like, why don't we go over the rumors for Final Fantasy 16 that are already out? So we've got that it's Yoshi P's team is allegedly working on it, although he's denied it.
Yeah, but the video game industry is notorious for that. They'll deny anything regardless of whether or not it has any merit. So,
Right. So we can't really trust his word on that 100%. We've also got the I think someone said that it's Dark Souls kind of combat, which I don't know about that, but then again, we did have like a hiring from, I think it was Capcom or something. So we had a hiring from Capcom, right? From someone who has experience with action combat.
Wasn't that one for 7 Remake? Like they had a Monster Hunter guy on the 7 Remake's combat team?
Well, there was that, but then there was one for Yoshi P's team. And obviously Yoshi P's team doesn't need someone with experience in action combat for Final Fantasy 14.
Right, yeah. There was actually one other thing I saw yesterday that might be relevant, might not, and not actually related to 16, theoretical 16. And that's like a few months ago, there was an update to the PC version of 13, and it was made, and people noticed some changes to the organization of files and stuff, like they were earmarking stuff to send to one of the companies that they outsource the HD remasters to.
Interesting.
Yeah, so who knows if that means anything. I mean, that's probably more concrete than anything else, because Square Enix has the absolute worst security when it comes to their PC ports. I don't know any company that has managed to delete their entire game in a Steam update twice.
Yeah, it was 9 that happened to.
Yeah.
That was impressively bad.
Yeah.
There we go. PlayStation 5 showcase. Wait, okay, there we go. So a bunch of logos are coming up on the screen.
Yeah, you should just be seeing, the face buttons and such. Start should be in 15 minutes or so.
Right.
And this runs for about 40 minutes. Allegedly.
Okay. Cool. All right, so back on the subject of rumors. So with the 13 port, I would be completely unsurprised if they announced the Lightning Saga is now being remastered and released on PS5 or something like that. That's like a kind of mundane thing that you just kind of expect from them. They really like porting their games to new hardware. It's very common for Square. So if something like that, I don't know if it's going to come at this event, but if something like that happens, I would be completely unsurprised.
Right, and it seems kind of an inevitability at this point, because they're done with remastering the PS2 era games. If they bring that ahead to the next generation, and they don't have to, because the PS5 is PS4 compatible and the Xbox Gen 4 is Xbox One compatible, so they don't need to release new ports of those. And 8's been recently remastered, 9 kind of. I mean, it's basically the same game, but with some enhancements from the smartphone version, etc. And of course, 7 Remake happened, and they don't really seem to be in the mood to do anything like Final Fantasy IV DS anymore, a full remaster, full remake of one of the 2D era games. So really, if they're remaking stuff, they've got nowhere else to go but 13.
Yeah, so basically 13 is the last one left, right? I mean, I guess they could port 15 to PS5, and again, that would be another unsurprising thing. They seem to want to put that on every single platform out there. Like, they put it on Stadia with extra content, which was completely surprising. They've put it like everywhere. So if they remastered that again with more content, that's something that would be completely unsurprising to me. Again, I don't know if that's gonna happen at this event. Like, it doesn't seem like the right place to announce that, but it seems like something that's very, very likely to happen. And of course, because with Stadia, they added new content to that game. So the question isn't like, will they put it on PS5? The question is like, will they add anything to it when they put it on PS5? And I'd be very surprised if they did at this point. But then again, they did for Stadia, so who knows?
Do we have any numbers on how well the Stadia version did? Because I don't know, Stadia still feels like a joke to me. To be 100%
I don't
honest.
think we have. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we have numbers on the Stadia platform as a whole, let alone how well 15 specifically did on it. So I'm not entirely sure on that. Like, as far as I can tell, like, Stadia's basically only been picked up by like people who are really curious about it, or like just Google enthusiasts. So I don't really think Stadia has much of. I don't think it has much of a player base. So I'd assume very low. The last time, like, I know the 15's port for PC sold like 1 million or something like that. Like, 15's port for PC did pretty well.
And I guess ultimately the Stadia did exceed my expectations, but my expectations were it was going to be as pathetic as the Ouya. So
yeah, it turned out better than that, but that's not saying a whole lot.
Like you stretch back far enough, you can find me making direct comparisons to the Ouya on the FFWiki Twitter. So, but yeah, I guess.
So it cleared the very low bar of being better than that. So congrats, Google! You beat a startup company that
had no idea what they were doing.
That had no idea what they were doing, and that funded through what was it called?
Kickstarter.
Yeah, they're funded through Kickstarter. So congrats, Google.
I gotta turn the volume on this down again. This is a very loud stream.
So, as far as other things Final Fantasy related, so do we think there's gonna be like 7 Remake Part 2? I don't think there will be just yet. Like, I don't know about that, because on the one hand, like, I don't expect 7 Remake Part 2 to take as long as the first part did, but I still don't think that like they have anything to show for it just yet. I might be wrong.
So I guess I can just restate my opinion from the 7 Remake podcast on that, which is, I think based on everything we've seen, that Square Enix is kind of gunning for one major main series release per year. So whatever gets announced here isn't slated for 2021, because Final Fantasy XIV version 6 is slated for 2021. Like, that's not even announced yet, and we all know that's going to be the case, because that's how Final Fantasy XIV works. They've been thrown off their schedule by 2 months, but that's not enough to delay it into 2022. So whatever next big main series game gets announced is going to be for 2022 at the earliest. And I don't think at this stage they can do a full part for 7 Remake in the space of 2 years.
Right. Yeah, I'd have to agree completely on that, because like I know there are a lot of people who are like super optimistic for it being released on 2021, which I think is really pushing it. Yeah, I mean that's really pushing it, that is. I think it was like Jason Schreier said that, and I'm like, I trust you on a lot of things, dude, but I don't trust you on this. Right?
Like I have no doubt they can do 7 Remake Part 2 faster than they did 7 Remake Part 1. But there are several factors that go into that. The two most important things is that 7 Remake was part of Square Enix's grand trilogy of announcing a Nomura project way before it was ready to be revealed. Yeah, the trilogy of Versus 13, Kingdom Hearts 3, 7 Remake. And the other one is that 7 Remake's development also included them hiring and firing CyberConnect 2 during it, which they're presumably not going to do for 7 Remake Part 2.
Yeah, I was just about to like bring that up as well, but I mean the other thing is just like there are interviews where they've basically said like they hadn't really decided what they decided what the combat system would be, but they hadn't really like perfected it or like finalized it until like basically a year before it was released, right? So basically when we all saw it, when we saw that demo at E3, that's when they were happy with it internally. And before then they just like been like experimenting with it a lot and doing a lot of trial and error. So when it comes to like developing a lot of, you know, basically the structure or like the foundation for the entire 7 Remake series, like a lot of it will basically have been developed already and they can just build on that, right? So Nomura has basically said, I think this was in one of the more recent interviews, he basically said, so now we know what level of quality we need to aim for with the next one, and we basically just want to elevate above from this one, right? So it seems like, yeah, obviously with all those factors taken into account, maybe we can expect the next part within 3 years.
Hi, Zerolek. Over-under on 16 showing up is, honestly, if we go by the stuff I've read on Twitter, fairly high that something's going to show up, but we have no idea. We're just generally doing this because of any third-party event where something Final Fantasy is going to show up. The most likely is a Sony stream.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because the series left Nintendo back in the 90s, and things are clearly doing better on Sony than they are on Microsoft, considering how of the main series entries that have been on since Square Enix started supporting Microsoft, only half of them have been on Xbox. 14's not on Xbox, 7 Remake's not on Xbox.
Although I was really surprised because, you know, at the Xbox event, and I think it was like 2016, they announced some 15 exclusive stuff, and it was like that VR game that never got made.
Oh, the PSVR thing. Yeah, that turned into the fishing game. I have never touched that.
It was originally going to be like, oh, you can play it from Prompto's perspective, and then it's like, now we're just going to make it the fishing game.
I don't know if anyone on the wiki has touched that, actually.
Oh, I definitely haven't. I've never, like, seen it. You know, I don't know anything about it, to be honest. Like, but then again, I don't think any of our editors has even touched the Comrades thing.
I have, and I will have to again when FFWiki plays Rises from the Dead, and I have to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Comrades is not good.
Is it not?
It's not very good.
Okay.
Like, there are some interesting things, because they actually have weapon types and styles that are unique to Comrades that you never get in the main game, and that's kind of interesting. But it still doesn't change the fact that it's just kind of just a multiplayer version of Hunt and some other minor open world objectives done over and over again. And the open world is honestly the worst part of 15. It's big, it's empty, there's not a lot going on.
I heard that Comrades kind of fixed the magic system in a way. I might be wrong about that.
Yeah, it's you actually cast spells in Comrades instead of having giant magic grenades, and the spells are tied to your weapons. So, like, if you equip a weapon with certain skills, it changes the spells you have equipped. You have one attack spell and one defense spell equipped at any time.
Okay. So that's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. So like, I guess Comrades is an improvement in some ways to the core systems of 15, but ultimately it's not very fun.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like, I mean, if it's literally just hunts, except you can have other people involved, that's not really that's not really enough to make a whole series based on it.
Like, they mix it up with special objectives and stuff, but at the same time, that basically means it's a hunt, but you don't want enemies to get to this specific spot.
I know, like, the series has always done this to an extent, but 15 seems like their most experimental game, right? 15 just seems like the one where they pretty much pulled out all the stops and tried anything, and would throw a lot of things at the wall to see what stick. So that's what you saw in Comrades, that's what you saw in that little fishing game, you know, there's like mobile releases, and even within the main game itself, there's a lot of ideas in there, some of which are developed better than others. Right, but it just basically 15 just seemed like them pulling out all the stops just to try and see where things are going next.
I mean, I guess with that development history, they didn't have much of a choice. I mean, like, when you accrue 10 years of ideas and stuff, weird stuff is going to leak through all this stuff. Like, the ultimate example of a game that spent too long in development and never should have released, Duke Nukem Forever. You can basically tell when a level was made based on what first-person shooter tropes it's trying and failing to parody.
Right. Yeah, like, and again, back with 15, like, them being experimental is actually kind of a smart business decision in a way. Because if basically, like, the point of, like, the philosophy Square Enix has been operating on, both with 15 and with 7 Remake, has basically been, you know, we're behind the times with the Final Fantasy series, we have to become relevant again. And they answered this philosophy in 2 completely different ways. So 7 Remake's answer to that was, well, let's rediscover everything that people liked about Final Fantasy and try and, like, bring that back to an extent and modernize it. Whereas 15 was, let's catch up with everyone else by seeing what everyone else is doing and try that. And I think, given how much more 7 Remake has resonated with people, that seems to have worked out a lot better. But with 15, you can definitely commend it for trying a lot of things.
The real shame is that I love 13's take on the A2B system, but I think the polarized reaction to that game in general kind of sunk that kind of natural development that you saw going from the PlayStation games to 10-2 to 13. Because 7 Remake, you know, while it's got A2B, and it's kind of got elements of 13 with the 2 bars.
Oh, it does.
It does really feel like they took a hard left away from where they were developing before that. And, you know, maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's not. I mean, 7 Remake was good, so it's a good thing. But, yeah, I really like 13's battle system. I think this is the thing that I routinely point out as the Final Fantasy Wiki staff resident 13 defender, that 13's plot has tons and tons of fucking flaws, but it's got one of the best battle systems in the series.
Right.
And then
I have not
13.2
played
fucking
13
ruined
enough
it.
on it.
And then 13.2 fucking ruined it.
I think on that note, it's about to start.
Right.
Yeah, hello, I just got here. I just got off work. Time for
Hey, what's up?
the actual show. Hello.
Hey.
We were just chatting shit about 13, and now the stream's about to begin.
Yeah.
In theory, it's about to begin anyway. It says stay tuned on my end.
Yeah, we had a big countdown leading to this new countdown.
Like, if you want my fucking takes on 13.2, that can come some other day, because, you know, once this stream ends, I've got to get ready to go to work. But I can talk a lot about how I dislike 13.2 compared to 13. Okay, it's
If we
starting.
ever had, like, a drunk podcast, it would be talking about 13.2.
Yes.
Sober podcast, please, let's not talk about 13.2.
Yep.
And we're staying tuned, okay.
Well, I've got a PS5 that's come up on my screen, and I've got an astronaut, and now I've got...
this is like a summary of the last stream.
Right. Yeah, so, of the... Oh, fuck yes, Ratchet and Clank. Like, but fuck no, I've got a lot of work to do.
Oh, I was apparently watching not the actual stream, but let's watch the GameStop stream. That's the actual game. Okay, the GameSpot stream works. The other stream is like 10 seconds behind.
Right.
I will be ready. Okay, let's do this.
So I'm really excited for the new Horizon game because I really liked Zero Dawn. I thought it was super interesting, right? And I am not much of a Western RPG fan. Like, I don't dislike them. None of them have really resonated with me all that much. But Horizon resonated with me a lot. So I'm really excited for that. Campfire, great start.
You all know the target. Shiva's dominant. And only the dominant.
How do we even know the girl will be on...
Is this like...
Our kind do not question orders. We follow them.
Oh shit! Oh fucking shit!
Oh! Okay, it's going right at the start. Right from the beginning. Okay. Interesting. They're just opening with it.
Our foe will not relinquish their mother crystal easily.
No, because like for a minute there, I thought, is this a Final Fantasy? Is this like? But it looks like it is.
It's definitely Final Fantasy. We got Shiva, we got some chocobos,
and we currently got the main thing.
This is 14, right?
No, this isn't 14.
Well, then it's 16. What else could it be? Because this, yeah, okay. I'm definitely seeing a lot of 14's art style in this.
Did you not pledge your sword to our cause?
Oh, and the whole like.
Okay, I guess that's where people got the idea of it being Dark Souls-like. It's from. It does not look Dark Souls-like. That fucking looks more. That fucking looks more character action, which, considering 7 remake, that actually seems like the general direction the series is heading.
It's interesting because they open with a campfire, and the guy kind of looks somewhat like Noctis, and I'm getting a somewhat 15-ish vibe, but it seems like a very 14 setting. So that's interesting.
Oh, 14 is like a crazy anachronistic setting, but this seems more like a consistently like fantasy medieval kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
because I'm also getting a lot of Witcher vibes from there.
I actually thought this was a Witcher commercial when I first saw it, but it's
Mm. That's what I thought. Like, that was my initial reaction, but no, it looks okay. So that's Phoenix. Oh, and now we've got the Burning Man from Metal Gear Solid 5.
yeah, okay, guest starring Commander Volgan. Anyway, okay, that's it, Brent.
The legacy of the crystals.
That's gotta be a free, right?
Yeah, that's gotta be it, Brent.
Oh, they're going back to crystals. Okay, interesting. Yeah, see, that guy does look like Noctis, right? I'm not going crazy.
I think that does.
I'll kill you
Hmm.
if it's the last thing I do.
Okay, so there we have it. Final Fantasy 16
Very good.
announced
Oh
for
shit!
PS5.
I love that Amano art. I love that
Exclusive
Amano
for
art.
PS5.
Oh fuck!
Okay, so 5 minutes into this stream, and I've already eaten shit for being a skeptical asshole. Well fucking done, Square. Well, goddamn fucking done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we finally got confirmation that it's real. Is there much we can get from that trailer? Oh fuck! Now, all right, now it's time for me to have another thing I gotta work on.
I mean,
Fuck.
we'll have to watch that again later. By which I mean, you guys can start your own stream and analyze that because, again, once I'm done with this, I have to get ready for work. It is 6:05 in the morning.
That's fair.
Come on.
All right, well, it's good that we're finally getting some footage of Spider-Man. But I'm guessing the fact they went from 16 to this suggests to me that that's the only Square Enix thing we're seeing this stream.
Yeah, probably, but you know, we've got the stream open, so we may as well do whatever.
Food in the city, awesome music. Man, this would be great for the last beat I was working on.
So bets on how long until someone makes the page.
Announced. They probably already have.
I'm not saying it yet, but
What do you think about Rio Morales? You gonna vote for her?
It's still hard to think of Mom as a politician. She's been a teacher my whole life.
Someone's probably already made it. Let's be real.
People, educating them.
They're probably writing it right now. Anyways, but yeah, like there's really not any other Square Enix media you could have expected from this. They're not going to talk about the new FF14 expansion. Probably not any Kingdom Hearts. And like, I guess there could have been a Dragon Quest thing, just because I don't know anything about Dragon Quest. But
Same. Like,
That's
well, we
about
were
it.
discussing beforehand, the only other things that possibly could have come up would be like a port of the Lightning Saga, possibly a port of 15, but those were like stretches. Like, if there was something to be announced, it would be 16. And they said business division. I don't know what they said, but was that Yoshi P's team?
I don't know.
Let's not shoot each other, all right?
In the Creative Business Unit 3, which
Right.
I don't know. Square has changed. Square changes
Yeah, they
their
changed
business their team's names constantly, I mean, like, that's already a different naming scheme from 15, which was what, Business Division
Oh, yes,
5?
yes. Creative Business Unit 3 is Yoshida, as of April 2019.
Well, that makes a fuck ton of sense then, doesn't it? Because
Yep.
yeah, that did look like that did look very Eorzea-like, and
Yeah.
I do have to say
Right.
Eorzea, because 14 is a mismatch is a deliberate, complete mismatch of fantasy settings.
Yeah, I mean, like, I gotta say from the trailer we saw, like, I mean, it looks okay. Like, as in, I really like the art style they're going for, but it reminds me a lot of The Witcher, right? And personally, I prefer settings like 7 to those old fantasy settings. But I'm really happy that they're doing this nonetheless, because I know a lot of people have really missed out on fantasy settings over the years.
Yeah, like, I think that based on what we saw, that Dark Souls comparison was wrong, but obviously they are taking. But there are obviously some other influences in there. Like, I don't know, maybe people saw the campfire at the beginning of that trailer and thought, oh hey, that's a bonfire, this must be Dark Souls.
As we know, Dark Souls is the only game in the history of the universe where there are campfires. Final Fantasy X is a game in the Dark Souls series.
That's the other thing, right? With like the campfire at the start and the whole, like, I wonder if they're taking some influences from 10 as well. Also, this like Spider-Man footage right now looks excellent. Like, it looks like the same game that the first one was. Like, they've taken all the good things about that and just amped it up to 11, right? But I know we want to talk about Final Fantasy, so that's what I have to say on this trailer, I think. But yeah, going back to like, you get the sense that they're taking a lot of influence from the other games, while still, like, it still feels like a very distinct setting, right? Because even though like Final Fantasy has often like had medieval settings before, right? I don't think it's had one that gives the same like aesthetic that you would see from, like, I guess Dark Souls and Witcher and all those like recent-ish games. Like, it seems like it's still gonna be its own thing.
I can stop this.
And the thing is, I'm going to need to rewatch that, but for the time being, I'm actually watching this because
It looks pretty badass.
like this, like the Spider-Man game was good, so
It was excellent.
yeah.
Spider-Man and Final Fantasy VII Remake are my two favorite games of last generation. So if we're getting more of that this gen, I'm going to be pretty happy this gen. Right. And plus we're getting a really, by the looks of things, it looks like we're also getting a really good Ratchet and Clank game. If that shows up today, I'll be pretty happy. I'm not expecting it to, right? But sounds like this is going to be a pretty damn good conference.
Yeah. So, like, it wasn't a contest at this point because, like, if anyone follows my personal Twitter, you'd know I have had a lot of problems with Xbox Gen 4, which is annoying because I don't like it when Sony doesn't have any valid competition, because that's what gets things like the original PS3. But yeah, it looks like my decision to get a PS5 has definitely been cemented now. So, and oh, that fucking Harry Potter.
Oh, so they're actually announcing this?
Most beautiful and powerful binds together our long history. That common bond we share is the legacy of Hogwarts.
Yeah, as someone who had all the books I've fucking checked out of Harry Potter at this point, that last film was so bad. It
Oh
was.
well, partly. I mean, Harry Potter's had a really rough time lately. You know, obviously, like the Fantastic Beasts suck, and now J.K. Rowling's a turf. So no one wants to financially support this series anymore. So they're kind of rough.
Who came before?
There's also been a lot of bad Harry Potter games. Like the Deathly Hallows game that's basically just Harry Potter Call of Duty.
Yeah. Like, I mean, though it's interesting, right? If they're like, if this can be the Arkham Asylum of the Harry Potter series, right? Because they've had so many bad games till now. If they want to make the first good one, then that could be interesting. You know, I kind of like the setting of Harry Potter. It's not really like, I mean, I don't like it as much as some people do, but I think it's got some cool world building here and there, and it's got some good ideas. It'll be interesting.
That strange and mysterious talent you possess may be the key to
Like, definitely though, this conference so far is shaping out to be way better than I thought it would, right? You know, they hit us with a massive reveal right off the bat, and then they went to, oh, by the way, we're announcing this game that's been rumored about for like 3 years now. Like, who knows how long this has been rumored for? Yeah.
And this one isn't even rumored. We knew it was in development. It's just that they wouldn't say anything other than it's in development. Like, the fact that this game existed leaked repeated. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, the fact that they've hit us off with that, oh, that's a good name, Hogwarts Legacy. Anyway, but the fact that they've hit us off with that suggests they've got more to come. Who knows?
Hi everyone, I'm Dan Vondrak, Creative Director at Raven. One of our goals as developers is to bring the game world to life
Raven
unlike
Software.
anything you've ever experienced, and the PlayStation
Are these
5
the
is making
Hogwarts
that
Legacy people?
With the
No,
power of the
that
new
said
console,
that-
we've been able to
That
significantly
said it was
enhance the overall
Avalanche
experience.
in that trailer.
Right.
What you see in the world, how it feels in your
I
hands,
don't know
who
who
and what
Raven
you hear
Software
around you.
are.
In Black
Yeah,
Ops
I've
4,
never
you
heard
will
of
be
them
transported
before.
to the year 1981, in the middle of one of the most dangerous
Oh, Black
times
Ops.
the world
Okay,
has ever
no,
known,
I don't
the
care.
height of the Cold War. The following is a portion of the first campaign
Oh,
mission
fucking
where you've been given the name of a
that-
high-value target
Yeah, it's
linked
Call
to
of
the Iran
Duty.
hostage
Alright.
crisis.
Like,
Well,
that one
you
looks
knew it was
shit
gonna
even
be
by
that.
Call of Duty
Nothing is as it
standards.
seems.
That's...
Take a look.
No, but Call of Duty has had like a resurgence lately. Like, a lot of people really dug Warzone. And like, it became a legit competitor to Fortnite, which I was kind of surprised about.
They should be in position shortly.
Again, like, Call of Duty and like first-person shooters do not interest me in the slightest. But you know,
Like,
I'm glad that like fans of that are finally getting good content.
Like, unless there's like an alternate game mode where you get to shoot Reagan, what's the fucking point of a game set in the Cold War?
All right.
Incoming truck, left side.
A rush might be in the truck.
And this isn't the only thing we may have to cover today, because there's a Nintendo Direct.
Oh no.
Yeah.
There's one today?
I mean, today by my standards, Nintendo Directs tend to come out midnight Sydney time.
Ah, got you. Okay.
Take him out.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
And like,
will there be anything at the Nintendo event? I don't know.
I don't know, but like Nintendo has stopped doing first-party directs. All of their directs since COVID derailed everything have been exclusively third-party shows. So like the closest thing we've had to a first party at their directs since the paradigm shift has been Cadence of Hyrule.
Alright, this looks exactly the same as every other Call of Duty I've watched.
I was literally about to say that. Like, all these games just look the same to me. It's like, I've played this like 20 times now. So Yoshi P is in fact producing Final Fantasy 16. So there's a PlayStation blog that's just like shown up, right? So it says Final Fantasy 16 announced for PS5. Awakening trailer, blah blah blah. The Final Fantasy 16 producer, that's right, just producer, Naoki Yoshida is here. So how did you enjoy the trailer? The exclusive footage, blah blah blah. Represents but a fraction of what our team has accomplished since the start of the development on this, an all-new Final Fantasy game. In that span, the team's size has grown from a handful of core members to a full-fledged unit that continues to polish and build upon what they have created so far, all to provide players an experience unmatched in terms of story and gameplay. So our next big information reveal is scheduled for 2021. Oh, so we're going to have to be waiting quite a while. I think this is the only trailer we're going to get for ages.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I expect everyone to have fun speculating as we have a lot in store, not only for Final Fantasy 16, but for 14-2. Needless to say, I'll be working hard on both. So the director is someone called Hiroshi Takai. Alright, I don't know, I've never heard of this guy. So he says, when Final Fantasy 1 was released, I was just another player, a young student with big dreams. By the time Final Fantasy 5 was in the works, I had earned myself a seat. Oh, so he's been working on the series since 5. Okay. So I had earned myself a seat at the developer's table, albeit at the very end. From there, I moved online, leaving my mark on both 11 and 14, and now 16. From the establishment of an all-new development environment to the learning the ins and outs of the PlayStation 5, the team and I have taken on countless challenges during our journey to bring you the 16th chapter in the storied Final Fantasy franchise. That's an interesting way of describing it.
Look, when you got a series going, as long as it has yourself, you sort of start running out of descriptors.
Yeah, that works.
Apparently, Hiroshi Takai. Oh, go ahead.
And though we're pouting our hearts and souls into this project each and every day, it may still be some time before we can get it in your hands. However, I promise it will be worth the wait. Final Fantasy 16 director Hiroshi Takai.
He was responsible for the first 3 romancing sagas, and also worked on The Last Remnant.
Interesting. Okay, so he's like jumped around at Square a lot.
Yeah.
Based on what he said as the last thing, my interpretation of that is
Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, but my interpretation of what the last thing Hiroshi Takai said suggests to me we're gonna be waiting a long time for this game, which I'm not surprised about. And it looks like our protagonist is another black-haired guy with a tattoo on his face this time. So I mean, okay.
They're coming again.
Yeah, I think that's about all there is. I think that's probably all we're gonna get for a while. So they're saying that 2021 is the next big information dump. Right, so until then we'll just be speculating about the trailer. To be honest, I don't mind that at all. It means less work for me having to cover this game. But but yeah, I mean, from what we've seen, I'm intrigued.
The bush is empty.
figures that the most
determined to find the
popular
bears, the rascal
tweet
broke free of
on
Mother's grasp
on the
and vanished
FFWiki
into the
account
trees.
related to this so far is me
Mother's worried
retweeting
cries
Blue's
sounded fast
section.
as the girl ran on, over vine, under branch,
Great.
and into the forest deep.
Alright, I don't know anything about Resident Evil. I don't like horror games.
It's just a local.
Don't really have much commentary here.
All I know about Resident Evil is memes about Chris wanting people to fuck his sister. So,
Great. Was Resident Evil the one where the wiki got vandalized by someone who...
No, that's
said
Silent
that...
Hill. That's
Oh,
Silent
that's
Hill.
Silent Hill. Okay. Alright, so Silent Hill is the one where the wiki got vandalized by some guy who,
Some guy, he was one of the lead admins.
He was like the lead bureaucrat or some shit, right? And it got vandalized by him, where he basically made every article into like a conspiracy theory about like male genital mutilation. It's like, what the fuck?
So yeah, Silent Hill is the one that is now known for circumcision-related meltdowns. Resident Evil is, I think, mostly known for DC Douglas hamming it the hell up, but I think his character is got killed off, so...
Oh, what's this? Is this like...
this is Deathloop, which looks pretty cool, but it's not really my kind of thing, so...
Okay.
And of course it's not my kind of thing, I don't like first-person shooters.
Yeah, same. It's like... I mean, the art style looks pretty cool.
That guy just got yeeted off a cliff. Okay.
Is this just is this a battle royale? Like, are they still making them?
No, it's not a battle royale. It does have multiplayer, but it's like two-person.
Right. Okay.
I think it's like Dark Souls style multiplayer, where like you can go into someone else's game and fuck with them.
That's interesting.
Something keeps him home.
I gotta say, I really love the Amano art for 16. Like, it looks really cool. It's the best Amano art for the series since 12, basically. Like, I mean, it's literally the best since 12. Like, that looks really freaking cool.
Like the logos have gotten a lot more extravagant, and that's a really nice one.
Yeah, the logo colors also remind me a lot of 10. So they're going for that color scheme. That's kind of interesting. I mean, you know, I'm intrigued with 16, but I'm not like blown away by it just yet. I'll have to see more information. But knowing that Yoshi T's team is working on it, and like this guy who's been a veteran since 5 is directing it, does fill me with some confidence.
Yeah.
Although
the game's gonna be good, but there's not enough information for us to be like truly hyped for it.
Right, yeah, I agree. Like, I'm not like on a hype train for it yet, but I know there are people out there who will be. Like, I know there are people out there who like eat up this kind of setting. And
like if there's one thing that people should know from the recent history of Final Fantasy development, you can trust Yoshida. He turned the worst game in the series, like the actual objective worst game in the series, into one of the best. He knows what he's fucking doing.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, Yoshi P, like, I mean, if there's one person I trust to like handle one of these games, is absolutely Yoshi P, right? I mean, Nomura is an interesting character, has a decent-ish track record. Do I trust him to turn around every single game in the series and make every single game excellent? No. But Yoshi P, I basically have no reservations. And I'm pretty sure Ito has retired from directing at this point.
Yeah.
Sucks to be that one annoying user.
Yeah, so if you're that one guy who constantly edits the wiki to randomly cite Hiroyuki Ito for stuff that he didn't actually work on, please don't add him as a director for Final Fantasy 16. We will just revert you.
Well, I mean, we know the actual director now. We've got.
Yes, we know the director is demon. Guy whose name I forget.
Takai. Hiroshi Takai.
Yeah, Devil May Cry 5 was.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I agree with the guy who's saying here. It looks like a Western RPG with FF elements. Yeah, it does. Like, but is that a bad thing inherently? Like, it's not inherently bad. You know, I mean, it's not my kind of thing. But you know, it'll be interesting to see where they go with it. You know, it'll be interesting to see what their take on it is. And this game looks. Is this Nier?
No, this is Devil May Cry 5.
Oh, okay.
Rest in peace.
Oh, did they like confirm that's what it is? And I just
yes, yes, there was a big logo, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition.
Oh, great! I'm paying a lot of attention to the stream right now. Right, I mean, the two things I came for have already shown up, right? Unless Ratchet and Clank shows up again, which it won't, then I'm basically checked out of the stream.
Like, Devil May Cry 5 was a fun game, so this is alright.
Devil May Cry.
Also, someone brought up whether it's being made in the Luminous engine or not. We know it's not in the Luminous engine because they didn't say
Luminous,
so.
the Luminous guys are on Athia, aren't they?
Yeah, and they're already on that that weirdo game that they announced like recently-ish. So I expect this is made with Unreal, because also if you look at what happened with 14 when that was originally on Crystal Tools and Yoshi P took over and got it off Crystal Tools, I'm pretty sure he had it on a third-party engine, right? And then from there, like, basically the whole company said, oh, that's a good idea, let's just put Unreal in everything.
Yeah, but also,
so I fully
like,
expect...
in general, at the moment, I remember saying Square Enix is like one of the people that lead the charge for Unreal in Japan.
We're excited to bring you an
So,
all-new
like,
exclusive
that-
trailer from
so,
the
like,
Here,
I mean,
our
and
unlikely
when-
hero.
I mean, I think they're
finds
doing that
himself
since like
fresh off
Unreal
the back
3
of
because
freeing
like
his people
that's what
from
they
the
use for side
nefarious Rupture
projects and
Farms.
stuff.
He thinks the
But,
journey is over, but soon discovers it is
but,
only
yeah,
just begun.
they are
the stakes are higher, the
like
threats
they've
are larger,
always
the obstacles are more devious,
in the
and it's
HD
all
era
made
they've
possible
always
by the power
kind of liked
PlayStation 5.
Unreal.
Enjoy.
They just didn't really use it for the big flagship projects until the combined fuck-ups of Crystal Tools and Luminous.
Like, I mean, it just, like, these days, it just seems to make a lot more sense to either have an engine that you developed internally, which you also sort of, I guess, license out to other developers, right? Or just use a third-party engine. Because basically the thing with it is that, like, it's much easier for development when you can just hire someone who's already an expert with Unreal Engine, right? So then you don't have to hire a developer and in the first month or two they're spent learning how the engine works. And then there will make all these like sort of problems that can occur internally. So these days it's definitely shifted towards like third-party engines just make just a ton more sense, like in general. So I fully expect that the engine for 16 will just be Unreal again.
And also, like, Square generally doesn't develop for Mac, so there's no risk of being fucked over by the other big companies wanking themselves raw over the latest lawsuit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And like is 14 still on Mac? Like they still have Mac support?
It still I believe it does still have Mac support, but it pretty much never gets talked about.
Right. I mean, it
Because
doesn't
they
seem.
fucked up the initial Mac launch so badly. Like they
Yeah.
got their specs completely wrong, and it fucked everyone over.
Yeah, there were more than a few problems with the Mac port of 14, but I'm guessing that is just what put them off ever developing for Mac OS again.
So
right?
Is this fucking Five Nights at Freddy's?
Fucking Five Nights at Freddy's. What?
Oh no. Oh, it
Freddy's
is.
Fazbear's Complex? What the fuck?
Oh, no.
Gregory, be still.
Yep, it is. Like,
I think she's found
I mean,
us.
how have they not milked this series? Like,
They have milked this series. The series has had more fucking grand finales than Metal Gear.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, like, what the fuck? And I mean, I know it's kind of, and now to someone who might be out there saying, "Oh, it's rich of you to say that Five Nights at Freddy's milked the series when you're on the Final Fantasy wiki, haha, 16 games," and it's
We fucking acknowledge that.
Like the difference is Final Fantasy has a new setting every time. It basically does a reset every time, right? So that's why we don't give it a pass, but that's why we're more accepting of new content. Like Five Nights
this must be
just
the
seems
Demon
to be
Souls
stretching out the same thing. Oh, by the way, this looks like I think this is the
Demon
Dark...
Souls.
Yeah,
This is Demon Souls. I recognize the voice acting.
The Demon Souls, right? Okay. So I mean, this looks like very good graphics. Although, like, I mean, with a Demon Souls remake, like, is there much you can comment on other than is it graphically better than the original? Because beyond that, you know what you're getting with Demon Souls.
Like,
It's the same game.
I've seen some people hate the art direction changes. Actually.
Oh really?
Yeah. Like the PS3 version of Demon Souls was like a much muddier game, and not like it in a realism means brown style. I mean, just like the general graphical quality was like just kind of very differently done, and some people really don't like that change.
And this just looks like Demon Souls combat.
Well, yeah, they're probably not changing that.
Right. So, this is, again, you know what you're getting with this game. Like, it's not really too... Wow, that's slow.
Oh yeah, Demon Souls was a very slow game.
So they're keeping the same kind of pace.
And in general, like what we consider in general, Dark Souls started out really slow as well. That's just kind of how they did things, and they made things slightly faster as they refined the system. Like it's like if you didn't know the vast difference of time between Demon Souls and Sekiro, you might not realize that they're both from software. Although is FromSoft involved in this remake? I don't know. I
think it's all Blue Point.
Yeah. So anyway, there's your definitive proof that Final Fantasy 16 is clearly not inspired by Dark Souls.
Yeah, because you can see the direct point of comparison right here.
Yeah.
I mean, and with 16's like combat, with 16's combat, it seemed again I got 15 vibes from it, but I don't think they'll just straight up reuse the same system as 15. Like,
oh, it's not going to be the same system as 15.
Right, I hope they just reuse the 7 remake system, but if they don't, and they do something else that's interesting with it, I wouldn't mind, you know? Like, with 16, you have to wait and see.
Okay, we should be coming up to the end now, because I said it was going to be about 40 minutes.
Well, I mean, you'd hope this is the price reveal, right? Or unless there's like 5 minutes left.
Fortnite!
Yeah, I don't care.
Of course. Fucking Fortnite. Like, what do they need to show off with Fortnite though? We know what Fortnite is. Like, everyone knows what Fortnite is. It's everywhere.
Obviously, Fortnite was going to come to the PS5.
No,
that's the grand finale.
Shit is available on PS5. Oh, wow. It was already on PS4.
Like, I mean, that does not need a freaking reveal. That's like, and today
that
we're
was
announcing
a more pointless
the war
reveal
is wet.
than that was a more fucking pointless reveal than the Grand Theft Auto 5 one in the previous PS5 stream.
It was equally as pointless. Oh, this is interesting. PlayStation Now, or is it Plus? I don't know.
It's a PlayStation Plus thing.
Okay, so now they're showing PS4 games. Oh, they did show Final Fantasy 15 coming to PS5. My prediction was correct.
This looks like it's going to be a PlayStation version of Game Pass.
Yeah, which will just be like PlayStation Now, right? I mean, they've already had PlayStation Now for ages.
Well, PlayStation Now is streaming. PlayStation Now is a streaming thing.
So let's see what
I can't get PlayStation Now because they don't offer it in the Southern Hemisphere at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bruh, that sucks.
It's like only available in North America and Europe, and parts of Asia.
Yeah, so, well, presumably they need to like,
after all we've been through,
you know, fix that before they try and roll it out everywhere. Interesting, they're showing The Last of Us remastered instead of, you know, part 2. Persona 5, excellent game.
Yeah, like this really blatantly feels like a Game Pass type thing.
Yeah, I don't know what else it could be. And they're only showing the big games. Interesting. So they're showing like the big hits from PS4, and you get them all at launch. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting.
So this is okay. So that's basically like a massively expanded version of the monthly free game.
Why are they showing Persona 5 Original instead of Royal though?
They probably Atlas are assholes.
Oh. Here we go. Price reveal. Come on. And now it's gonna cost $7.99.
God, don't even fucking joke.
Yeah, they're not that stupid. Alright. I think the most optimistic would be like $3.99.
I don't think they can afford to undercut that much.
Yeah, I don't think they can do that. So let's go for let's say $4.99.
Yeah, I'm expecting
right?
$4.99.
Come on, guys. Let's see. Dot dot dot.
The digital edition is $3.99.
Yeah, see,
Knew
$4.99.
it!
That was
Got it. Exact prediction. $4.99 and $3.99.
November 12th. Okay, November 12th.
November the 12th. Okay.
So now you
Whoa,
know.
goddamn.
Thank you all for joining us today and for being part of this.
So,
amazing
I guess
I'm gonna
it's...
get in the $3.99 version because I don't need discs anymore.
I still have plenty of discs. You cannot take away a disc player from me.
From everyone at PlayStation,
That's
we
fair.
appreciate your continued support.
But yeah, I think
But
those
that's-
were the
Forward to you
prices
getting your
everyone
hands
was
on
expecting.
PS5
$400
very soon.
for the discless version,
To
$500
close,
for the
let me
for the
leave you
drive.
with one more quick look.
But that's interesting. So basically, you get the PS5, and then there's a bunch of games that are for free. But then it said, oh, it only comes with PlayStation
Well,
Plus. So maybe...
free with PlayStation Plus, yeah. Okay, what's this?
Let's see what this could be. Because that's the thing everyone was tuning in for, right? So we got the 16
is this,
reveal plus...
God of War?
Oh, God of War 2?
Well, technically God of War 5, but at least I think it's 5 personally.
This is definitely God of War, because there's nothing else it could be. You must prepare yourself. God of War Ragnarok. Oh, 2021 God of War. Interesting. Alright, that's a lot sooner than I thought it would be. Although, when did... So, God of War, the last one, came out in 2018, right? So, for God of War, the next one, that means it's been in development for 3 years. Interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, that's a lot sooner than I thought it would be. Alright, so this was a good, this was a good showcase, right? Got the things that I wanted to get out of it. 16 looks interesting. Like, I mean, it looks intriguing. I don't know if it's my thing, but, I'm interested to know more, and knowing that Yoshi P is working on it fills me with a lot of confidence. Miles Morales looks exactly like the Spider-Man game we got last time, but better. So that looks good. Looking forward to that. Everything else is like basically what you'd expect. So yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good conference.
And like the price thing, we already knew that Sony was working on really thin profit margins for this. So like even if they were going to try and undercut the Series X, they couldn't really have done it by much. So yeah, 500 makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I mean the pricing looks like pretty good. It could have been a lot worse. Yeah, I think the pricing's fine. I think although that PlayStation Plus collection thing, if that's their counter offer to Xbox, I don't know about that. Like, I don't know if their counter offer is all that appealing, considering with PlayStation Plus collection, you basically get a bunch of the big games from last generation, except this time it's on PS5, right? Whereas with Xbox, the Game Pass, you get a ton of stuff.
Well, they're starting from a weaker position because like the big thing is always fucking backwards compatibility. Like do people? I think I'm not sure how much people get that the PS3 was a fucking bitch of a device, and yeah, of course Sony have a worse backwards compatibility capability because they fucked themselves with the PlayStation 3. Now
Right.
that's no excuse for not having PS1 and 2 because you can brute force those these days. But the PS3 is a fucking inscrutable device that I don't expect will have decent software emulation anytime soon.
Yeah, they're
At
working on
least not
ARCs
on a
for
consumer
PS3.
device.
They're working on it right now. It's not too far along just yet. Like, it'll be a long time before we can really emulate the PS3. But so but the impression I got from that is basically you get all these big games and you can download them like immediately. So that's kind of, I mean, it's interesting. It implies to me that basically any game from the store that you can get for PS4 now, you can download it. You can also just download it for PS5. So
Yeah,
the only question I'd have with that is if they're gonna come out with remasters of any of these. Like for instance, like with Persona 5, right? If they were to say come out with a remaster of Persona 5 that is like an HD upgrade or something, like for PS5, then if I buy Persona 5 Royal, right, to download it, am I just wasting my money if they come out with like an upgrade for it later? Like that's the only thing I'd be a little concerned about.
I mean, yeah, I mean, this does trace back to the Atlas or assholes thing, but also like Royal effectively was the HD remaster. Like the original Persona 5 targeted PS3, but Atlas West only wanted to localize the PS4 version. So, but meanwhile, Royal was a PS4 exclusive.
I mean that makes sense. So yeah, so who knows what will happen with regards to that? Like, although I don't think like any of the other games on there are really likely to get re-released on PS5, or they're not really likely to get remasters.
Yeah, I
Like
assume that age of endless remasters is going to die down a bit because both of the two big high end consoles are back on backwards compatibility kicks. So
right, with the exception being that they may still make remakes of really old games.
Yeah.
But that's like a different thing. Like as far as cashing in on nostalgia is not going to go away anytime soon. But
like going into this gen, you had to in order to continue things, because no one is being backwards compatible with the PS3 anytime soon, and until Microsoft really started pushing it, Xbox One backwards compatibility was not very good. They had to do a lot of work to get it to where it is now. And that still has a very small list of compatible original Xbox games.
yeah, so like we called that 7 remake part 2 wouldn't be out in this stream. Like that was kind of obvious.
Yeah.
We called that the only big reveal would be 16, and it came right at the start.
Yeah.
And we called that. Well, I called that 15 was gonna come back on PS5. I didn't expect it to be in the way it did, but it did.
Yeah, that's.
And we called the prices exactly. So guys, it looks like we've got a big track record. You should tune into the next FFWiki stream for exactly what's gonna happen. We'll tell you ahead of time.
I believe Blue wanted to do something later today. I won't be there for that, and it's probably going to be not live podcast. So if if you guys want to stream podcasts for whatever reason, you've got the login details for the FFWiki Twitch. You can just like install an OBS program and it'll do everything for you, really.
Okay. Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. So anyway, I need to get off now. So that'll be the end of this stream. Thank you to the one person still watching. We did have 3 at one point, which I believe is a 200% improvement over the last test stream.
Yeah.
If the one person still watching now is the one person who watched the Dimension stream, I am still sorry for that one. That one really sucked. And also, after the fact, I realized I misspelled welcome in the title of the stream.
Whoops.
Yeah, okay. So, anyway, actually, let's check. Did someone create the page yet? Did someone create the page yet?
Someone will have created the page by now. Come on.
Come on.
Oh, someone's updated the nav box.
Well, there's the logo.
There's the logo. All right, so the page is
I
being
do
made.
not believe someone's created the page. I don't see it.
All right. Well, if someone makes it, I'll fix it up and make it look not terrible.
I am fucking disappointed in this wiki.
Everyone was too busy complaining on the general Discord about how boring it looks than actually making the page.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's call that then. See you some other time.
Yeah.